YouTube, it's Ben here from Budget Bill, bringing you my True King Dinosaur deck profile. Right, I think this is one of the top contenders for the current meta game, especially with how good True King of Calamities is just shutting down the opponent's turn, and the ability to Ultimate Conductor Tyranno just break any board. Plus, with the new ban list, we've got back one of the main cards being True King Lithosagem, allows us to extend plays by popping baby dinosaurs, and allows us to rip cards out of opponent's extra deck to limit their chance of OTKing us. Right, let's get started with the profile. Start us off, we're playing the free Stratos / Armageddon Knight of the deck, Overraptor. Allows us to add dinosaurs to hand, or send them to graveyard, depending on what's better for you. Allows us to add our boss monster in Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Also, he has a pretty cool interaction with Lost World, where when you give your opponent a token, you can pop that off Overraptor's effect, then use Lost World to protect it, pop in a dinosaur from deck, allowing you to, which is probably going to be a baby, then you can use that to summon another dinosaur from your deck to set up rank 4 plays, or a Pancratops as another disruption on your opponent's turn. Right, next we're playing 3 Miscellaneousaurus. Very solid card, allows us to protect your dinosaurs too. You can make sure your Overraptor's effect's always going off. You can make sure your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno's effect's always going off. Also it's really good against spirals, because with Appaloosa it can only negate once per chain, so if you use your Overraptor, or Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, for example, to try and flip down Sleeper, then you try and negate the Tyranno with the Appaloosa, but then you just chain Miscellaneousaurus to that, meaning that that Tyranno's effect still goes off. Then we've got a baby dinosaurs, being 3 baby Ceratosaurus and 1 petite Pteranodon. Baby Ceratosaurus, when it's destroyed by a card effect, summons a dinosaur from deck, so you can summon off your Overraptors, your Miscellaneousauruses. That easy allows us to set up rank 4 plays, gets us easy access to our Overraptor when combined with things like Draconic Diagram and Lithosagem. Same with Petite Pteranodon, but this one can do it for level 5s or higher, so you could do Pancratops, for example. Also with Lithosagem, pop 2 of these, get 2 summons off, summon the Lithosagem. Then you get a look at your opponent's extra deck, rip 3 cards out of that. So you can rip out things like Double Helixes, Appaloosas, Boroswords, anything like that. And it's just they're just really good extenders to help build a board. Next we've got 2 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, boss monster of the deck. Takes apart our opponent's boards easily, because 3,500 attack points can tack over anything, simple as. Plus, it's a good disruption on our opponent's turn, because we can flip their things face down. I mean, they can't go into Sync or XZ or Link plays with them. Best card in the game. Next for the one-offs, we're playing 1 Overtext Quatless. When it's sent to the graveyard by an effect, adds pill, so that gives it another way to search away into Tyranno. Fairly good. Then we've got Pancratops, good card, just a good bit of spot removal. Plus it can easily get rid of 2 cards on the field to swing over something, pop something else. 1 Kaiju. The reason why I'm playing this is because there's a lot of threats in the game which we may find quite hard to deal with. For example, Kaliuga in some decks, or in Spiral you've got Appaloosa. Because if you Kaiju over the Appaloosa, they lose them 4 negates, plus the Appaloosa will no longer be co-linked, meaning that they lose the negate of Time Gazer as well. Whatever its name is, Trigate Magician, I think. Then we've got 1 Megalus Master-Rex, simply just a water target to pop off Barastos, where to help us banish off back row against any control decks like Altergeist or Guru. 1 Duracalo, simply just a level 1 target to summon off Miscellaneousaurus, allows us into Chambara and Sync Champara plays or Trishula plays for either OTKing or getting another level 9 board for VFD. Then 1 Giant Rex, very good for level 4. When it's banished, you can special summon itself, so you usually keep banishing it to summon your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, so you can just get this thing back on the board, revive it, then go into a rank 4 play or a link play, whatever you feel like. And then we've got the True Kings. We play 1 Lithosagem, 2 Barastos, and 2 Aginamazud. Right, Lithosagem is probably the best one, but hence it's at 1, and luckily they've brought it back off the ban list, so we can finally use it again to get the best out of this deck. Simply what it does, it allows us to pop 2 earths, or at least 1 earth in a hand to special summon it. If 2 earths are popped with its effect, it can look for your opponent's extra, can banish 3 cards. Simple as that. It's really good because if it pops 2 babies, the babies then float into other dinosaurs, plus setting up. And in addition to that, you're helping set up a VFD. Then we're playing a 2 Barastos. Simply it's just there because when it's destroyed, it's brilliant when it's destroyed because it just floats into another worm from deck, making easy VFD plays. Plus, it rarely comes up, but if you can pop 2 waters of its effects, you can then banish 2 spells and traps. Really good against Guru, all that sort of stuff. Then 2 Agimazud. We play a lot of fire targets in our deck, so we're likely to pop 2 of its effect. Plus, a non-target banish is really effective as well out in boards. That's it for the monsters. Then we're moving into our spells. Starting us off, we're playing 3 Fossil Dig. Allows us to add a dinosaur from our deck to hand, simple as. So you can add your Overraptor, you can add your Miscellaneousaurus if you've already got your Overraptor in the hand, so you can protect it. Just decent play starter, plus a way to ban out any hand traps. And we've got a 2 double evolution pill. Basically just says banish 2 cards, summon Ultimate Conductor Tyranno from deck, simple as that. Ideally though, we are banishing Giant Rex off its effect because if it gets hit with a hand trap, we don't want to completely neg, so Giant Rex will just revive itself if it does get hit anyway. Now we've got quite a heavy field spell count in this deck because you've got things like Lost World and Draconic Diagram, so starting us off, we've got 3 Lost World. Let me get that on camera. Right, this card's very good in this deck. When on the summon of a dinosaur, we can give our opponent a token with 0 attack and 0 defense. While they have that token, they cannot target our monsters on the field with cards effects. They can only target tokens. Plus, it's got quite good interaction with Overraptor because both effects are trigger effects. So if you make Overraptor Chain Link 1 and this Chain Link 2, it will then chain block Overraptor, meaning they can't then Ash Overraptor or negate it or except with a targeting effect. Plus, it gives the opponent a token which you can use to pop of Overraptor to get a free summon from deck. Then you've got Draconic Diagram, also a very good field spell. Unfortunately, it's a 1 now. Simply what it does is pop a card from a hand or field, add a True King from deck to hand. Loads of the dinosaur cards like being destroyed anyway, like your Overtext Quatlus and your baby dinosaurs. Generates a lot of advantage in this deck. Very good field spell. Then, in addition to back these up, we're playing 1 Terraforming to search and 1 Set Rotation to set these to the field. Now, this deck doesn't really mind if it goes first or second, so we're playing quite a few going first variations of going first and going second cards. So, if we're going second cards, 3 Super Poly allows us to out our opponent's board. Simple as that. Against Spirals, we can go into Mud Dragon to help get rid of things like Time Gazer. Trigate Wizard and can't remember the other thing, but something relevant. Then we're also playing 3 Call by the Grave to help us dodge any hand traps that may stop us. At the moment, Tron Lookbird's quite popular in this format, so it's a good way to stop that so that we can continue doing our searches and extend our plays further forward. Then to end us off, we're playing 1 Monster Reborn, a good extender, can bring back a level 9 for VFD plays, so pretty solid. Now we're moving to our extra deck. Starting with Xyz, we play 1 True King of all Calamities, 1 Evilsaur Dolka, 1 Evilsaur Lagia, 1 Abyss Dweller, and 1 Dagaris. Right, VFD, very good boss monster in this deck. Well, the second boss monster, Tyranno. Once we summon it, stand by face, attach a material, declare an attribute. Monsters in opponent's possession of that attribute cannot activate their effects. Very good. I mean, when we're playing this, we're mainly blindly saying Dark because it's a very popular attribute. But if you know what you're playing, it's much easier just to declare what type attribute is most popular in that deck. so they can't use their effects in hand or graveyard, any of that. Then we play the Evil Sword package, being Dolka and Lagia. Dolka is 2 monster negates. Lagia is a negate of a monster summon or a spell or trap activation. Both very good to set up going first boards when we want made to go first, because usually if you're OTKing your opponent when you go in second, they're thinking, hang on a minute, I want them to go first, so we'll just set up these to help stop them playing. Backed up by Tyranno, very solid. Then we're playing one Abyss Dweller, good going first against loads of Grave Reliant decks. And one Dagaris, multiple uses, can bring back a Tyranno from graveyard. What more? Very good. Allows us to draw 2 cards when we need it and we'll push them for game. And can double Tyranno's tap points to help us get over big bodies. Now moving on to our links. One Avramax, one Unicorn, one IP Masquerena, one Nightmare Phoenix, and one Barricade Board Blocker. Right, Barricade Board Blocker is pretty solid in this deck because it allows us to add back cards like Draconic Diagram, which is a one-off, so we can reuse it in the grind game. Phoenix pops a spell or trap. IP Masquerena allows us to link someone on an opponent's turn for extra loud disruption. Unicorn shuffles back annoying cards, and Avramax is just a hard boss monster to out if we need it. So we usually make a IP Masquerena during our opponent's turn, so they have a hard time out in one of our cards. Then for synchros, we're playing one Trishula and one high speed ride Chambara. Trishula's a level 9, so good for VFD plays, I find. Also, it can rip cards out of your opponent's hand, making them less likely to play for your board. Also, Chambara, good for OTKs going second. We can summon it with a level 4 and the Duracalo that we summon with Miscellaneousaurus. Backed up with our Tyranno, it's just a recipe to OTK. Then for fusions, we play a couple of super targets. Sun Venom, because Darks are probably the most popular attribute in the game. Draco's Tapelia, good against anything that ends on a fusion as well, so maybe if playing against Shadows, or in some cases when Orcus they end on Winder, so you can use the Dark Monster in that to end on that. And you'll play one Mad Dragon because Spiral, they end on 2 Earths, so this is a good way to outcouple their negates. Now moving on to the side. Right, this format's quite young, so there's a lot of argument to make within the side, but I think I've got a fairly solid one here. May make a couple of changes later on. Right. 3 Cosmic Cyclone, spell or trap removal. I think it's better than Twin Twisters and MST because since it banishes, it means that protection effects can't be used on the card. Also, the opponent can't recur the card, which you banish off Cosmic Cyclone. Plus, you don't have to discard for costs, I mean you can keep your hand side up. Then, quite an interesting choice, but I think this card's really good. 3 Hatrunade. Good against the mass backrow decks like Altergeist, Guru. Returns them all to hand. If they don't negate it with a Judgment or something, this can be a blowout. I mean, you're free to go ahead and OTK with your Tyranno. Then we play 3 Nibiru, really good against combo, completely slows them down, as long as they don't set up a negate, it completely slows them down, and making their board much more manageable and easy to run over. 3 DD Crow, very good against Spiral, once you can get rid of things like Master Plan and traps, stops their combos. And we play 3 Ghost Ogre. Early format, I think Ogre's a really good solid card to go with. You can simply just pop a card. So good against field spells, like in the mirror match you can use it against Draconic Diagram, all stuff like that. Right, that ends my profile. I think this deck's really good going up into the format, with ways to set up strong boards with VFD, and ways to break boards with Conductor Tyranno. Hope you enjoyed watching, and leave a comment and a thumbs up in the video.